Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Courteney Jacobazzi. We are going to talk about a warmer start to November. So if you're a warmer weather fan, we've got that for you. And we do have some potential rain on the way, especially as we head into the weekend. So we're going to cover all of that for you coming up shortly. For now, we'll give you a live look outside where we are seeing mostly sunny skies, some of those high clouds hanging out in the sky, and overall a really pretty start to the day after what was a foggy morning for a lot of you, especially in northwest Georgia. But now we're starting to see that clearing of skies. We typically see the densest fog around the sunrise hour, but now that we have heated up, all of that moisture has essentially evaporated and that fog has lifted. So not a bad start to your morning. Temperature-wise, we are generally in the upper 50s and low 60s. So we're at 59 in Marietta, 59 in Lawrenceville, 60 in Athens, and 59 in Atlanta. A really mild morning, a little on the chilly side if you ask me, but overall a nice start. As we go through the afternoon, do expect a gradual increase in cloud cover. I'll show you in just a minute. There's a disturbance that's out to our west, out in Texas. We call it a short wave. Essentially, it's kind of a kink in the atmosphere, a little wave of energy, adds some extra lift. And since we have the moisture in the atmosphere, which helped produce that fog, is giving us some cloud cover for the start of the day. As that kind of moves on by, we'll have enough moisture to work with that will produce more cloud cover as we head through the afternoon. So low 70s as we head into the 3, 4, 5 o'clock hour. That's where we'll top out today. And then temperatures will gradually cool with those mostly cloudy skies that will act kind of as a blanket for us and insulate us and keep our overnight low temperatures slightly warmer. We'll wake up tomorrow in the low to mid 50s. So this is, to me personally, the perfect kind of weather. You have these cool but not cold mornings, and then you have these nice and warm afternoons. This is just my favorite part about fall. Now, this is above average though. Our average overnight low is around 50 and our average high temperature is around 70. So we will be warmer than that. So that little wave of energy again out towards Texas, and as we head through the afternoon and that ultimately moves closer to us, we'll first see an increase in cloud cover, but again, we do have some moisture in the atmosphere, so we could maybe have a few light showers as that moves by, especially in the higher elevations of the mountains, but not going to really impact your commute. But just a heads up, especially if you are north and east of the metro, up towards the Gainesville area, up in places like Rabun County, maybe could have a stray shower. Essentially, the mountains, as this short wave, again, as we call it, moves by, the mountains are an extra lift. The fancy meteorology word for that is orographic lift. That's lift that mountains provide. And so with that, we'll have just that extra oomph in the atmosphere along with that short wave that could produce a few showers. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not only going to be confined to the mountains, but don't be surprised if a couple of light sprinkles kind of drop your way as we head into early tomorrow morning. But then as that short wave moves out, we actually are going to have a clearing of skies. We'll have a good bit of sunshine tomorrow afternoon. So Wednesday will look great. Here's a look at your high temperatures the next few days. We will have temperatures generally hanging in the mid 70s, maybe even some upper 70s, which will be anywhere between around 5 to upwards of close to 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. So November is ringing in warm, and looking at the monthly outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, it does seem like that will be a trend for the month of November. So if you're hoping for a cold November, I've had a lot of people asking me, hey, when are we going to cool down again? When are we going to get that really cold air again? I just don't see it in the foreseeable future right now. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, everyone. Hello, Carl. Carl's putting up the Christmas decorations. Y'all listen. Let me know if you're putting up the Christmas decorations. I'm not judging you, but I'm judging you, okay? Give the turkey its day first, and then decorate for Christmas. That's all I got to say about that. Mine go up the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Now, again, I'm not judging you, but I am judging you just a little bit. But if Christmas is your jam, it's your jam. I can't say anything about it. All right, so those are your high temperatures the next 6 days. Here are your overnight low temperatures, low to mid 50s, and then even potentially in the upper 50s and low 60s as we head into the weekend. So the mornings staying even more mild. Of course, the weekend, a huge game. We will have that forecast for you. Georgia, Tennessee, up in Athens. It's going to be electric out there, I'm sure. The forecast doesn't look half bad for it. We'll talk about that. Good morning. Good morning, Darlene. Good morning, David. Do you say your name's Soleil? That's a really cool name. Let me know if I just said that right. That is really cool. All right, so here's kind of our setup. Does anyone see that purple in the top like left of your screen over by Denver, that's snow, by the way. So if you had any ski trips planned to Denver, you might get lucky. The mountains might get a nice little coating of snow over in the Rockies. That's behind a cold front that could bring some pretty significant severe weather to parts of Texas over the next couple of days as we head into the weekend. This is Thursday night, by the way. We're going to be dominated by high pressure. So where that high pressure is sitting will actually create a wedge. So our mornings, the next couple of mornings after today, of course, tonight we have that cloud cover, but as we head into Thursday morning, Friday morning, we'll have a little bit of a wedge build in. All you need to know about that, that'll spill in some slightly cooler air from the northeast. So our mornings will ring in a couple degrees cooler than what we'll wake up to tomorrow. But that area of high pressure is also pretty strong. Watch as this front pushes across into Dixie Alley. It starts to kind of stall and then fizzle apart as it makes its way closer to us. That area of high pressure is going to really slow that front down and kind of help break it up a little bit. So notice as we head into Saturday and Sunday, we could maybe have a few showers. It is possible. It would really just look like light rain. And keep in mind, this is a longer range model, so the resolution isn't as high. Sometimes the moisture that it picks up on is simply some thick cloud cover. So once we get the higher resolution models to come in about 3 days out or so, we'll be able to really talk about the potential and coverage for rain for the game on Saturday. But right now, a chance for rain is possible for the game on Saturday. Definitely not going to be a washout. If we do experience rain, it should be light. But for the most part, it's not going to look half bad. Now, something else that we're going to be watching as we head into next week, models are starting to hint, model run by model run, that there'll be some sort of low that develops out in the Atlantic. So it's too far out for the Hurricane Center to give any kind of watch on this. We'll talk about the disturbances and say, oh, this has a high chance of development, this has a low chance of development. It's still too far out for that to be on their radar. I'm sure they're keeping an eye on it, but this ultimately will form along a front that kind of stalled out over in parts of the Atlantic, and this will potentially move closer to the Atlantic coast. Not something we're super concerned about at all, but it could bring some rain to parts of the peninsula of Florida as we head into the start of next week. Just something we'll be keeping an eye on. It's French for sunshine. Wow, that makes it even cooler. That's awesome. Soleil. Love it. Let's see. Good morning. Good morning. It's going to be awesome. Carl, I know. Go Vols. That's what you're saying. I don't think a lot of people agree with you in this chat, but it's okay. The Tennessee fans have to have their moment too. Although it's going to be a really competitive game. Ella and I have been talking about it. Now, Ella is a UGA grad, so she is like really concerned. I'm just mildly concerned because like I don't have any kind of like deep favor for either of them. I'm just excited about the game. Keith, will Dairy Queen have an eggnog blizzard this year? I have no idea, but that would be great. I'm a fan of eggnog. I think that's cool. So anyway, what you need to know, again, we're going to have this front that's going to move in. I'll kind of back this up and start back over so you can see a front will push across the parts of the plains and then ultimately into the southeast. That area of high pressure, though, is going to hold so strong it'll actually kind of slow it down and ultimately weaken it before it moves our way. But we will be watching out to our neighbors to the west in parts of Texas, maybe parts of Louisiana and Mississippi for any kind of severe weather. We could potentially have a few showers. That area of high pressure will also bring in moisture from off the coast. So we'll have enough moisture for maybe a couple of light sprinkles Saturday and Sunday, and then we'll watch for that low to develop potentially as we head into next week. Again, not a major concern, just something we're going to be keeping an eye on. So here's a look at that Georgia football forecast. Tailgate, cloudy, near 70, so it will be warm. Temperatures will be in the mid 70s. I'm pretty sure this time last year it was freezing for the big games towards the end of the season as we got closer to the SEC championship. So this will be really pleasant, honestly. Now, a few showers possible around kickoff. Again, we'll be looking for kind of the afternoon, evening hour for maybe a couple of light showers, but don't think it's going to be a game canceller or anything. But something we'll be watching. We just kind of want to give you that heads up so for that potential for rain. Now let's talk about the tropics. So we have Tropical Storm Lisa. This is not going to impact us, but just so it doesn't go completely under your radar when we kind of wrap up the hurricane season. This has been having a hard time getting organized, but definitely starting to see some organization almost to the northwest of that icon there. It's been battling a little bit of wind shear, but it is about to move into a pretty favorable environment for more growth. Good morning, Steph. Hey, hope you had a good Halloween with all the kids. This will continue to move west off towards parts of the Yucatan Peninsula, and it does look like it could make a landfall somewhere near Belize as we head into the overnight hours on Thursday. It does look like it will strengthen to a Cat 1 hurricane as we head into tomorrow afternoon, and so this will be yet another name, another hurricane to check off the list. And so Lisa, not going to bother us, but it will impact if you have any plans to the Caribbean. I'm jealous of you, but of course, you know, hurricane, not the best news. I guess you would technically be having to leave already if you were going to Belize, right? But yeah, if anyone had any travel plans there, that's not fun. Could you imagine booking a trip to Belize in November thinking, oh, we'll be fine, and then whole hurricane comes? That wouldn't be the best, would it? A lot of rain, a lot of wind. All right, so here's your 7-day first alert forecast. Low 70s today. Again, expect that increase in cloud cover, especially as we head towards sunset hour. Maybe a few sprinkles as we head into tomorrow morning, especially in the higher elevations up towards the northeast. Very possible. And then we'll be in the mid 70s as we round out the week. More sunshine filters in Thursday and Friday with some slightly cooler mornings, thanks to that wedge and the combination of that and some clearer skies. And then we'll head into the weekend with a small chance for rain. By the way, guys, get an extra hour of sleep this weekend. You turn back the clocks Saturday night as daylight saving time ends. So I know, woo, I'm so excited for it. So sunset is going to be at 5:40 on Sunday. Is that not insane? So early. But that's good for people like me who have to go to bed at 8 o'clock. And then as we head into Monday, we're going to push 80 degrees. So a very warm start to November. But overall, really not a bad 7-day forecast. Any kind of rain we can we'll take. We definitely need it, even though it is on the day of a really big football game, but we'll keep an eye on that as we again get more high resolution models to come in. We'll be able to pinpoint exactly where and how much rain, and the timing, of course, for Saturday, because a lot of people probably going to be paying very close attention to that game. All right, we really did skate by with hurricanes this year. Yeah, you know, I mean, we've had a handful. I believe now we're up to 12 named storms, but really the big thing is how many make landfall, right? And we always say it only takes one. Well, Ian was a huge example of that. We've really only had one major storm impact the United States this year, and it only takes one to really make a big impact. So yeah, but otherwise hurricane season has been not necessarily super quiet. It's almost near average, but when it comes to how much it's impacted the actual coastal United States and the coastal areas, we've been pretty lucky with the exception of Ian, of course. Someone asked how Colby is. Colby is wonderful, thank you. Colby is my dog, for anybody who doesn't know. And he used to make a lot of appearances on my social media. But anyway, hopefully everyone enjoys the day today. Enjoy the beautiful weather we're gonna have the next couple of days. Nice 70-degree afternoons. And again, we could have maybe a few sprinkles tomorrow morning, so just something to be mindful of if you head out the door early tomorrow. And until next time, I will catch you guys later. Make it a wonderful Tuesday.